we're thinking about them all year long.
And that's number one goal, to be the team of North.
We all know, like, this is the team that we all prepare for.
We've just lost so many years in a row that something has to change.
Everything that you've worked for and built up to is spilled out on that game.
We've all been licking our chops. Why don't you go out there and just hit someone in scarlet and gray?
We have to earn everything we get today, man. We gotta get a fast start. We gotta play for 4 quarters.
This game is for all the marbles, you know. Obviously, it's the rivalry game, but implications for the Big Ten championship.
We're just so hungry, and we want this one more than anyone can even know.
Let's go!
It's a battle. We're not going out unless we die trying.
It is in the 20s out here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, but we ain't complaining, I promise. Week 13, and there is still so much to prove for both Ohio State and Michigan. Number 2 taking on number 6. These teams matching up for the 117th time. Both teams are 10-1, and the winner still has a shot at the college football playoff. The loser definitely does not. That's no pressure, so not at all. Welcome into Countdown to College Gameday, presented by Battlefield 2022. And like I said, we ain't complaining because we're layered up. But I will say, if my face, or if I start throwing my words, it's because my face is completely numb. I already feel it. I already feel it happening. Are you good?
No, I'm good. But Christine, you know how we got to start this off. Come on over here, camera. Come on over here. I say go! 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 They ready, Christine.
I mean, they heating it up out here, even though it's a little nippy. Okay, so we start every single show with something that we call the top. It's what we're most looking forward to in this college football weekend. Harry Douglas, I'm gonna let you start us off.
Christine, we're gonna take it down to Auburn, Alabama for the Iron Bowl. And if memory serves me correctly, Auburn won this matchup in 2019. So I'm wondering if they still have some upset in them. Do they have some upset in them? 2019, Alabama came in ranked as the number 5 team in the nation with hopes of going to the college football playoffs. The only loss they had was against LSU. But the Auburn Tigers played spoiler and ruined their chances to make the college football playoffs. So I want to see today, can the Auburn Tigers do it again?
Person. I mean, he just cares and he
beat the Alabama Crimson Tide.
It was a cliffhanger. You know how I love the drama. You know how I love a little crazy. Absolutely magnificent. Because we already know that this matchup specifically is going to cause just a little bit of chaos. And so that's where my top is coming from. I'm excited about Ohio State versus Michigan. This is what we're here for. And I don't want to be basic because, like, duh, this is a big matchup. Like I already said, this has a lot of CFP implications. But as we wind the season down, we still are getting a lot of good football games that mean a lot of things in this college football season. So not only does this matchup have a ton of history, but there's so much on the line. The rivalry has actually been very one-sided when you think about it. Ohio State has won 15 of the last 16. So I mean, I know
the Michigan fans don't like that.
They are, but like Michigan has been having a lot better season. But we're actually having a conversation, me, Mike Cole Jr. and Jason Fitz, about whether actually Tom Van Herring, who will be here very shortly, was in on the conversation as well. And it was like, if they lose this matchup, we know we've seen all the Big Ten coaches getting all their money. Like Jim Harbaugh has to win this matchup. I'm sorry.
Jim Harbaugh is 0-5. Christine, he's 0-5 in this matchup. The average margin of victory for Ohio State is 19 points in this game. Jim Harbaugh, if it's the year that he can do it, I think it's going to be this year. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they may be able to do it this year.
He needs to, because if not, people ain't going to be happy about it. And we welcome in our friend Tom Van Herring, who I was just talking about. We're going to do something called 3 Big Things. And we're going to start with Ole Miss, Pittman, and Matt Burrell. Because on Thanksgiving, Ole Miss beat Mississippi State 31-21 out of the Egg Bowl. I love the Egg Bowl.
Defensively, they've got to put a top.
Ole Miss got their first 10-win season in program history. So Lane Kiffin is leading this program to new heights. But given, like, Matt Corral means so much to this program. He's basically literally everything. Has any quarterback meant more to a program than Matt Corral for Ole Miss?
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious, right? That you have a good quarterback, you've got a good team, and Matt Corral, what that can do for a program is now Lane Kiffin can go on the recruiting trail and he can say, look at what Matt Corral did.
Right.
He doesn't have to say, come here and change the program. He says, I've already got the blueprint. You can come and do what he did. That is a huge foundation builder going forward. And I've actually talked to Lane Kiffin about quarterbacks specifically. And he said what he likes to do with his quarterbacks, when they come out on campus for a visit, he spends time with them to make sure that their personality is the kind of personality that he would want to hang out with, that other players are attracted to that guy as a person. Matt Corral is that dude.
Right.
And Lane Kiffin now, it's going to make it so much easier on the recruiting trail to bring it in.
Christine, I got to quote the great Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. There are other great quarterbacks, too, such as Desmond Ritter, who means a lot to his team.
Right.
Bryce Young means a lot to his team. So I just want to throw those two names out there as well. I like Matt Corral, but the other two I haven't mentioned
They're pretty good.
In this game, this matchup, DJ Stroud, Kate McNamara.
Of course.
Kate McNamara is bringing a confidence to this Michigan team at quarterback we haven't seen in a long time.
I agree.
All right, let's go to the Big 12. You know I like to talk about the Big 12 just every once in a while. And this is a guy that we haven't really talked about that much this season, and that's Breece Young. Okay, so he absolutely is a baller for Iowa State. In this last week of the regular season, it's been kind of a year where good players have flown under the radar. Do we feel like we haven't talked about Breece Hall that much?
Absolutely, his whole career. Right. I mean, he just broke a record, FBS record, consecutive games, scoring a touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but emotional coming off the field, hugging his family. It was awesome to see that. And I think a lot of times we look at the brand names, right? The logo on the chest is sometimes what matters. We're guilty of it. And even with the college football playoff, we tend to narrow our focus on a few teams. Unfortunately, I think Iowa State and Breece have fallen in that category, that they're not getting enough attention because you look at the NFL draft where he ranks, where he could go in the NFL. The draft has proven you can go to any school and you'll be found. If you can ball, you can ball. And that guy can ball. He's a good player.
And Tom, I'll tell you, if you look in the dictionary, they have pictures in the dictionary, and you look up the word consistent, Breece Hall, his picture would be right there, man.
And he was in the conversation, the Heisman conversation a lot last season. I just feel like we haven't been paying attention to what's going on in Iowa State as much as we did last season. All right, number 3, it is, I mentioned this, it's extension season. So it is a silly season for college football, and we're now up to 15 coaches that have been fired. 3 huge jobs are open, so we have USC, LSU, and Florida. But rather than movement, we're also seeing a lot of people stay home. So James Franklin agreed to 10-year extension that will pay him $7.5 million a year. Mel Tucker signed that 9.5 10-year extension, and then Wake Forest Dave Clawson announced that he's staying home as well. So do you feel like what's going on with the coaches in college football this season?
Their agents right now are like Scrooge McDuck diving into the gold vault. Right? They're making money, but you look at Michigan State with Mel Tucker. They're willing to spend. They're willing to put out cash, and they're saying we're a big boy too. We're going to spend, and we're going to keep our guy here. And if programs are willing to put up the resources, the money, a lot of times I think now coaches' mindsets are different. If you talk to coaches, you'll hear the phrase work-life balance more than you ever have. James Franklin specifically, I've spoken to James Franklin about this. He's got a wife and kids. He doesn't want work to be 100% his life. Okay. So if you've built a program the way he has, if you're recruiting the way he has, Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher said, the way I'm recruiting right now, I'd be dumb to leave this place. I just think there's so much more to offer these coaches now than what we were just talking about before. A logo on the front of a chest. There's a lot more that these coaches can do. College football playoff expansion, when that happens, there's more opportunity in the future for these coaches to stay than there ever has been.
And Tom, I'll add to that. One thing I think all 3 of those coaches realize is that the grass is not always so green on the other side.
Dave Aranda said something that I thought was very, very telling. He said, when asked about if he was going to stay at Baylor, he said, this is a great cultural fit for me.
Tom, come here real quick. I need you to Whoa, whoa.
In New York. All right, so as they Millie Rock, we are in Ann Arbor, and this is a very rivaled history matchup. Now, it has been 30 years. I don't mean to make the man sound old, but it has been 30 years since Desmond Howard won the Heisman. Listen to this.
I was dating a gymnast, right? And I had this girl teach me how to do a backflip because I thought it would be the coolest thing to break out down the field, stop at about the 1 yard line, and do a backflip into the end zone. As I became the front runner for the Heisman, fast forward to that game in late November and we're playing the Buckeyes. Here's my golden opportunity.
Nice high kick, got a little wind under it.
Catch the punt, racing down the left sideline. Saw the punter. At this point, I'm thinking, am I going to do this backflip? I would say probably around the 8 yard line going in. I kind of chickened out because I figured if I didn't do it right, then I'm on SportsCenter for the wrong thing. And I did that pose, which I think turned out to be better than doing a backflip.
We are now welcomed by the man himself. Who, let's talk about your haircut. You heard that thing.
That afro, that mini fro was smooth. It was smooth.
I got to welcome Dez in the right way. Desmond.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My man.
Yes, sir. It feels good to be back. Feels good. Hey, after we went to East Lansing, we went to Columbus last week. It feels good to finally be in Ann Arbor with some friendly faces, you know.
To be welcomed with open arms. So as coach does his head here, I want to talk about this matchup, Ohio State versus Michigan. Obviously, both teams in the top 10. This is only the 24th time that this has happened, and Ohio State was letting that thing fly last week on the opposite of the side of the field for your team.
Right.
What does the quarterback, what kind of game do they need out of their quarterback in order to win this one?
For Michigan?
Yeah.
Well, I think Cade McNamara just needs to be who he is. You know, Cade does not play over his head. He does a really good job of not only managing the game, but throwing balls when he needs to throw the ball. I think offensively what Michigan does is they're a ground and pound team.
Right.
They don't let the defense dictate what they're going to do. They dictate the tempo to the defense. And so all Cade McNamara needs to do is just be himself, be the quarterback we've seen this season. Don't forget, early in the season, everybody kept saying they run the ball too much. They're going to have to throw. They're going to have to throw. They can't win this way. And here they are here today, 10-1 against the Buckeyes with a chance to play in the Big Ten championship game if they win today. So just be who you are. That's what got you to where you are right now.
Now, Dez, I want to take it to the line of scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State, they must get those two dogs on the end block,
Yes, sir.
Ojabo and Hutchinson.
Absolutely.
But then on the flip side, I think Michigan has to control the line of scrimmage and run the football and kick the ball away from C.J. Stroud and that prolific offense.
Right.
Who do you think wins the line of scrimmage today?
Well, I think I really do think that the Wolverines, just because it's who they've been all year long, I mean, they'll come in and they'll do 2 tight ends. They'll do 3 tight ends. You know, they're going to make you play their game. They want to set the tempo of the game. They want to dictate to the defense how this game is going to go, and it starts in the trenches.
Right.
So with the way they've been playing all season long, I don't see them faltering from that game plan today.
Now, a lot of pressure on Michigan's secondary. Vincent Gray, DJ Turner, Hill.
Absolutely.
Can they contain that 3-headed monster for Ohio State?
No one can contain the receivers of Ohio State if C.J. Stroud sits back there at halftime. No one can do that. Believe me, it's the best receiving corps in the country, and they've shown that, especially the past 2 weeks. We saw what they did against Purdue. We saw what they did against Michigan State. So that's why the front seven's going to have to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. If you let him sit back there, he'll pick a defense apart.
Right. All right, let's get to another game happening in the Big Ten. We were just talking about how much money is against these teams. So we got Penn State at Michigan State. 2 coaches fresh off of almost $200 million in contract extensions, but they have lost 4 out of the last 5. Spartans have lost 2 of the last 3. Which of these teams do you feel like is going to end the season, the regular season, on a high note?
They should call this it was a great week for us bowl game. Because it was a great week for both head coaches. Both head coaches, James Franklin signed an extension at Penn State. Mel Tucker signed a huge extension at Michigan State. They should call this It's Glad to Be Us, our great week game. Really, you just want to know where's Michigan State at mentally after what transpired in Columbus a week ago. I mean, because that game was it was brutal. It was brutal to watch, and they got outclassed. Now they're at home, though, playing against the Nittany
Lions. Let's see if they're able to bounce back because it's going to tell us a lot about the character of that team when they play today against Penn State.
But Penn State has a guy named Jahan Dotson, who I love a lot.
Me too.
The back end for Michigan State is horrible with a capital H. Do you think he has a big day today?
I tell you what, the thing about Penn State is, I watched them and, they start off, with a lot of momentum. They beat Auburn at home, like, okay, this Penn State team is a great team. It just seemed like Sean Clifford, he started to suffer some injuries. They lost the game against Iowa, and they may be like running on fumes down the stretch. So if this team has that type of energy, that type of life where they're not running on fumes, then I think that Jahan Dotson will have a monster game because Sean Clifford is a guy that not only do you have to watch with a passing game, but he can hurt you with his legs too. And so I think that if they rise to the occasion and they have like a lot of life, then I think Jahan Dotson will be able to exploit that defensive secondary for Michigan State, no doubt about that.
All right, Des, thank you so much for joining us. I just also want to point out how fresh this is. I don't know if you guys can get the details.
We got to send them all right.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. Thank you. Go Blue. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
There's another matchup going down south. A southern matchup in Oklahoma. It's called Bedlam. Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Take a look at this.
This defense is absolutely lights out in Stillwater.
The corners and the safeties do a good job of playing man, so that leaves a lot of space, a lot of time for their other front seven to get to the quarterback.
It's one of the most experienced defenses in the country. They don't make many mistakes. They've made a lot of big plays. You have to execute at a high level to consistently move the ball and score points against these guys.
Williams going downtown, touchdown Oklahoma!
You have to contain the quarterback. He likes to get out of the pocket, and he's got a strong enough arm to sling it down the field and make a play.
Touchdown! Are you kidding me? What a play!
He's a home run hitter, and, getting after that quarterback, it's a big part of our defense, and so if we can do that, we'll have a very good shot.
All right, number 10, Oklahoma taking on number 7, Oklahoma State. I honestly wonder how warm it is in Stillwater. I was looking at Florida temperatures this morning just to reminisce. But okay, so we got Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. Yeah, exactly. Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. It is time for What a Time to Be Alive, brought to you by Battlefield 2042. And this is a good matchup. Obviously, both of these teams trying to still, honestly, kind of in the CFP race. Sooners are 17-1 when both teams are ranked. So it'll be a matchup between Oklahoma's top-rated Big 12 offense and the other OSU's, that's Oklahoma State University's top defense. Which side of the ball do you have more confidence in?
Oh, I have more confidence in Oklahoma State. You look at those guys right there, they're top 3 defense in the country. Not top 6, not top 10, top 3. Right? They also lead the nation in sacks. Nobody sacks the quarterback more than the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And I like 2 people on their defense. Kobe Harrell-Hill at the safety positions, and then Malcolm Rodriguez at the linebacker position. Those 2 guys have been the staples for this Oklahoma State defense, and I think they're going to give them problems, the Oklahoma Sooners today. A lot of problems that they're going to have to deal with the freshman quarterback.
One guy that's going to have to deal with some problems is Spencer Sanders, and he's been kind of off and on for Oklahoma State. Obviously, the Sooners are going to want to shut him down. What do you feel like he needs to do in order to get Oklahoma State a win in this matchup?
Well, the first thing, he has to be able to take care of the football. Take care of the football, stay ahead of the chains. If it's not there, throw the football away. Second thing, he can use his legs. He has to be a dual threat quarterback. Not only do it with his arm, but do it with his legs, especially against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they're not good against the run.
Right.
And also, they have a nice running back over there, Oklahoma State, too, who can run the ball. So utilize your weapons, take care of the football. Don't lose the football game. Let your defense be your backup plan.
I feel like Spencer Sanders has been at Oklahoma State for 50 years.
Like 90 years.
I'm like, Spencer Sanders is still there, and it is 2021. I'm very confused as to how. Okay, this is the matchup they're most excited about. Number 3, Alabama at Auburn. That game's at 3:30 p.m. And Saban had an all-time rant, I'll say, on the radio show, on his radio show earlier this week about Alabama fans not appreciating what his team has done or respecting college athletes. So his rants are typically not a good thing for the come in there mad. So what can Auburn do to try and snag their third straight dub at home?
Well, I'll say number one, you got to have good quarterback play, right? TJ Finley, he's in for Bo Nix, so he has to be able to lead the troops and be consistent today. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Auburn, Smoke Monday. Oh, that guy Smoke Monday had a pick six in 2019 against Mac Jones and the four-headed monster, and then I add a fifth one to it because Najee Harris was in the backfield. So they had a heck of a team, and Smoke Monday, man, he did his thing in that game. So defensively, I think they got to stop Alabama. Alabama and Bryce Young, because Bryce Young is the key.
It's hard. It is Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you know this, Harry, because you didn't get to hang out with us yesterday, but there's this place here in Ann Arbor called Crazy Jim's Blimpie Burgers. The owner, Rich, hung out with me yesterday. Take a look. So this place has been around since the 50s. When did you get involved?
Came to work for Crazy Jim in 1969. Our job back then was to get the customers to add to their burgers, right? So we now serve doubles, triples, quads, and quints.
So I understand there's a specific way that you have to order, and there's rules on the wall, but like, why is that the way that people have to order? Why is that important?
The reason we do it is so that we can get the people through faster.
You come in, know what you want, they heckle you a little bit. It's great food. It's kind of one of those staples from the places when you come to Ann Arbor, like, this is where you want to come to.
Got to stop by here. That was like one of the things that we had to do when we got here.
My annual tradition is always making sure we get to Blimpie Burger. Now passing it on to my son, so.
Today is the day after Thanksgiving, and so many customers have grown up going to Blimpies that when they come into town for Thanksgiving, they got to get their Blimpie fix. Although it's a big game this weekend, the crowd you see is probably people that are home for the holiday and want to come in and get a Blimpie.
All right, so first of all, me and Jen were just talking about how this weather is booger weather, nose, boogers in your nose weather. No, you're good. Okay, thank you. So I was gonna say, if y'all see us boogers in our nose, just like be okay with it. It's fine. But okay, so Crazy Jim's Blimpie Burgers is a staple here in Ann Arbor. So is Zingerman Deli. Are you more of a burger person or a deli person?
I don't discriminate when it comes to sandwiches. I will do all of the burgers. I will also do, they're like subs, right? They're like Blimpies are like subs. Is that the same thing?
Yeah. So, okay, the Blimpie burgers are like those kind that are like smashed down.
Like smash burgers.
Yeah, so that you can do like 2, 3, 4. Some people do 5 patties, and it's not like you're doing too much.
Get in my belly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't discriminate. If it's delicious, I will eat it. How's that sound?
Exactly.
It's yummy.
Exactly. Okay, so you're doing a really cool story on Game Day today about David Ojabu, and I know that his parents haven't been to a game yet, so you get to talk to them on Game Day today. So how is that process working?
I can't even imagine this, guys, right? Like, your kid is playing football in the United States, in Ann Arbor. You've never seen him play in person before. Like, what a big day this is. And guys, like, his journey is incredible, right? He was born in Nigeria. They moved to Scotland when he was 7 years old. Then he went all by himself to New Jersey for high school, played football when he was 16. That's it. That's when he started playing football. Like, you've been playing football your whole dang life. Can you imagine if you started when you were 16 and now he is rocketing up the draft boards? I mean, talk about progress, right? Like, how quickly you have to pick up a complicated sport. Like, we all know how complicated football is. This isn't running. This isn't like running a straight line as fast as you can. This is like gap scheme and all that. And he obviously is doing an incredible job. So excited to profile him on the show today. And we have his mom and dad coming to the show.
That's amazing.
And this is their first time ever seeing their son play. So I think I'm gonna probably cry. Like, I'm probably gonna cry.
I love that. I love the emotion.
What's unique about that is that I played with a guy named Brian Orakpo with the Tennessee Titans, and he didn't play football until high school. He only went to the University of Texas. He only won a national championship. He only was a first-round draft pick. But they're built like that, man. And for his mom and his dad to be able to be here today, that's special because I was an athlete, and I used to look in the stands every game for my mom and dad. And for that young man today, the biggest game of the year to have his parents here, I know it's special to him.
It's really cool. So we can't wait to talk to them on game day. A ton of other cool stuff coming up on the show. Gene Wojciechowski is going to talk to Nick Saban and his wife about something that's been very dear to their heart. So it should be a good one. And it's not as cold as I thought it was. Like, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's not that cold.
It's bearable. Like, we can see our breath, but like, you're good. We good out here. Okay, so at the beginning of the season, every season, we always, have some type of take. Is there any take that you had going into this college football season that went to your drafts that you are either embarrassed about or you're good with at this point in the season?
Okay, yes, I have a draft. Okay. And this is particularly bad because I work in the state of Wisconsin, but you guys, I wrote off the Badgers. Like, they started the season 1-3, and I was like, well, that's it. No more Badger season, right? Oh, they could win today and be in the Big Ten championship game, probably against Ohio State or whoever wins this big rivalry game. But, like, that was a mistake. Yeah. Like, here I am going, oh, Minnesota's going to have a great year, and they started out hot as well. Iowa was obviously in the rankings all season long. But I wrote off the Badgers. I was like, I can focus on next season. And everybody's talking about how Graham Mertz had one big splash in the pan game. It's looking like that was a bad take by me at this point.
It's fine.
As they're one win away from the Big Ten championship.
It's totally fine. Harry, have you had any?
Well, for me, it was Sam Howell in North Carolina. I thought Sam Howell was going to be up for the Heisman. I thought North Carolina was going to contend for the ACC. They both disappointed me. Sam Howell and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Okay, so I had a similar take about DJ Uiagalelei. I feel like he just had the yips. He'll be back next season. It'll be a lot better. Anyways, so there's a family that is from Ohio State that welcomes all the Ohio State fans into Ann Arbor every single game. So let's check this out.
We're out in the cold right now. You do this every single year. When did this start and how did it start?
My sister-in-law started it when she moved here about 40 years ago, and then we just chimed in with her and started. She started a little bit younger than, or a little bit later than that, probably 37 years ago.
I think, yeah, 37, 38, I've been doing it.
The border separating Michigan and Ohio is an imaginary line that you can't see, but you can definitely feel. It's a line of demarcation that separates bitter rivals Ohio State and Michigan. The game is played at the same time every year, and if you're a Michigan fan traveling south or an Ohio State fan making the trek to that state up north, chances are you've seen the Riker family.
But somebody's always here, and we're passing tradition on to our daughters that graduated from Ohio State. As you can hear the honks in the background, you get one honk and you just want another one. I kind of dubbed ourselves the honkaholics.
For 38 years, the Rikers have been waving Ohio State flags, flagging down cars, welcoming Michigan fans to the state of Ohio, and encouraging the Buckeyes as they make their way to the state up north.
All right, so our guy, Tom, got to hang out with him, and you're the one who knew about this story. So, I mean, when we walked in today, you were like, I thrive off of this energy. Like, obviously, the fans feel it also. Like, what did you learn? Like, this is crazy.
Look at this.
It's insane.
It's awesome. This is the best. And the energy that you feel in this rivalry.
Right.
When I found out about this story and I went out there, here are these two ladies that have been doing this for 38 years.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
In the freezing cold.
That's
One
crazy.
of them just had a baseball cap on, and I was like, shivering. This is the best. I love it.
It feels beautiful. It feels beautiful. Okay, so we're going to play a game called Trophy in a Box, and we're going to have these fans compete in Trophy in a Box. So you come on this side. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right, here's how Trophy in the Box works. I'm sure they explained it to you, but basically, one of these boxes has a trophy in it, okay? Our Michigan fan is going to look into her box, and she's going to try to do a poker face. The point is to try to get her to get the trophy box. Or no, wait, you keep the trophy. You keep the trophy. She wants the trophy. She wants the trophy, but she has to convince her that she either has it or doesn't have it. Okay, so look at your box.
Take a look.
Look at your box.
Yeah, take a look. Look at it.
I want to see too. I want to see.
Okay. All right, so are you happy with what's in your box?
I'm very happy with what's in my box.
So she's very happy with what's in her box.
She's very happy with her box.
She likes
Okay.
it.
Do you want her box or not? Okay, you have a
So
trophy.
you
You
have the
sure?
trophy?
You sure you have a trophy?
So much distrust between this rivalry.
She knows.
All
She
right.
knows. Okay, so let's look at the box.
I just win again, then win again.
She did it! Winner! Michigan. You did it for Michigan. I don't know. I feel like it might be it. But good job. Good job. Thank you for watching Countdown to College Game Day presented by Battlefield 2042. We will be back next week.
Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast, my expertise.